My name's Dylan Swart, an IT service management consultant at ICOR, and really am quite thrilled to have you here today. So, in this webinar, we'll be exploring the future of IT service management, emerging trends, and innovative approaches for 2024. As the IT landscape today really continues to evolve, it's crucial to stay ahead of the curve. So that's the plan of today, and it is to delve into the changing world of IT service management, emerging trends, and innovative strategies. So without further ado, let's jump in. First of all, a quick introduction on ICOR. So ICOR's been running now for 25 years, well, over 25 years, and it's there in helping organizations embed modern and effective approaches to IT service management, service delivery, service integration, and just service management good practices. It's like many other IT service management companies, has stemmed from a focus on ITIL based sort of processes, but where we like to see ourselves as different is we like to look at the whole management IT sort of management suite across, but also the new and upcoming sort of technologies and best practices and the integration of these to make these actually work and actually provide value. So we've got a range of services that we can offer, all the way from assessment and planning. So just actually understanding where you are and where you need to be, all the way through build, design, embed, governance improvement, and coaching and operational sort of areas. But you haven't come here for me to sell to you. So let's get on with the content. So today we will cover the introduction, which I've just given a very brief introduction about ICOR, the evolving IT service management landscape, to understand actually where we are and kind of in a way where we have been, because only by understanding where we've been, we can understand where we need to go. Emerging trends in IT service management, innovative approaches within IT service management, and then a wrap up. So a lot of the terms and the words that I'm going to use throughout this, they're not new. You're going to have heard these before in different sort of industries, but however, the trend is now going that we're adopting and adapting these in our service management environments more, and they're actually becoming a key and crucial area for us to be working in. So if you haven't adopted these within your environment, it's seriously worth thinking about. But I will cover the positives and the negatives of these as well. So let's take a closer look at the current state of IT service management. Traditional service management practices have served us well, but they now face new challenges in today's complex and dynamic environment. As we know, organizations are grappling with increased complexity, high customer expectations, and the need for greater agility. Whilst we might not be solving these now, and there might be issues that we are having, it's good to understand, the current ways of working and the future ways of working, and then see where we need to go. So first of all, let's have a look at the goals. This is really starting at that highest level of understanding the goals and what each area wants. So we'll start off with the business, because we're all business focused, right? So the business, really, their goals are they're after embracing digital technologies and processes to enhance that efficiency, agility, and competitiveness in the digital age. Digital transformation is now being used so much in so many organizations, but what the crux of it is for the customer, or for our customer, the business, to be able to do more quicker with less. In effect, it's like that age-old formula. They want to be very focused on customer centricity. So prioritize delivering exceptional customer experiences by understanding customer needs, preferences, and feedback. Personalized products where possible, of course. Make it feel that they're really part of what the customer needs. Innovation and adaptation. They want to be able to adapt to changing business needs and changing needs of the market. And as we know, this day and age, that happens daily. There's so much competition. The barriers to business have been reduced. And some of these big players and small players are all in the same market, all fighting for the same customers, and they need that competitive edge. So that's what they're looking at. But then also they need their offerings to be sustainable and to have social responsibility and provide back to the business, or sorry, provide back to the world, because we're in that sort of world at the moment where we focus at more well, businesses focus more on the additional parts for service, not just a service. It's what we give back. So I'm saying what a typical business is looking for. So what are the IT goals in relation to this? Well, the biggest one, I'm sure we all know and love, is business alignment. Ensure IT strategies and initiatives align with and support the broader business objectives. And we do this by collaborating closely with the business departments to drive whatever technology needs are needed. We've got security and compliance is another huge area. Enhance the cybersecurity measures to protect and evolve against new threats. I'm sure everyone here is aware of just the cybersecurity incident that happened with the police just in a couple of days ago, where a lot of private information was leaked from a supplier's connection to their systems. It's evolving, the attacks are evolving, and IT needs to safeguard those whilst giving them the flexibility, giving the business the flexibility it needs. Be scalable and agile. The business wants to turn on a sixpence or on a dime. Well, we need to be able to support that. And then also have data-driven decision making. Make sure that we can make our business decisions based on objective empirical data instead of the whole hunch and winging it, as it were. So the business and IT, yeah, they're kind of getting aligned. They're getting aligned. But then service management, how does service management support this? Well, as we can see here, we're just getting ready to start in this alignment race, really, because traditionally we've had a look at efficiency and service quality, making sure that our services are optimized for IT operations, looking at costs, of course, and we still look at costs, making sure that traditional IT service management enterprises do their best to manage the costs and make sure that they're visible. Stability and reliability, building something that's stable, a service that will last and will be there for the customer, making it fit for use, fit for purpose, all those great vitalisms. And one of the big things traditional service management does look at is, of course, documentation and compliance. Processes, fantastic. Governance, fantastic. And these are all great things. I'm a service manager of old. These are all great things. However, they are seen now within the IT and the business as a huge bureaucratic, cumbersome obstacle. And that's kind of not where we need to be. We need to be up and running with IT and the business. So I'm not saying what we're doing is wrong, not at all. We need to retain that sort of compliance and that governance. We're just going to have a look at more innovative ways of doing it so we can move faster and we can align better with what's happening in a agile and DevOps world and with the business moving so fast. With this, let's have a quick look at the IT service management challenges that we see, or requirements that we see from three main stakeholders. So one being a senior manager, then looking at a technician, and then through the customer's viewpoint. What's important to these people? To senior management, of course, alignment with the business goals. Don't be stopping the business from moving the way they need to move, being as agile as they need to be. Resource allocation. We haven't got infinite budgets. Make sure that we've got the right information and the right people in the right places at the right time. Looking at service quality and performance, ensuring consistent service quality and performance across the organization, it can be difficult. To really face, senior management faces pressure to maintain the high level or high service levels whilst controlling those costs. Change, as we know, is inevitable. And here, so looking at the changes in service management processes, and because we have to change, but how do we manage that with the employee resistance that generally does appear? And of course, cybersecurity and compliance, as we mentioned previously, pretty critical in a senior management sort of viewpoint. It's always there. They want to sleep easy, right? So, does a technician generally think of these? Are they concerned about this? So, an IT technician, well, not really. They've got a different viewpoint, haven't they? Workload and stress. Technicians often deal with heavy workloads and high stress levels, especially during incidents and outages. How can we reduce that? Skills gaps, keeping up with all these new evolving technologies and methodologies can be extremely daunting. So we need to think about that. Dealing with complex environments, including hybrid, multi-cloud setups, all these different sorts, infrastructure as a cloud, it all provides technical challenges. So we need to be able to ensure that we can actually transition between these effectively. And tools and technology, massive. So many new tools out there these days. And then just jumping into the IT service management area, for example, a lot of tools are almost outdated the moment you get them because the change is so fast. So make sure that we have the right tool set that's configured in the right way for what we need it, not how it was configured 5 years ago, because guarantee that won't support your business now. And then documentation and knowledge sharing, maintaining up-to-date knowledge management databases and such like, so these can be shared and we can learn from them. Finally, we have the customer's viewpoint, and this is all to understand where we are at the moment before we bring on the new trends. Because we've got to understand why I'm going through these is we have to understand where we are now, where we've been, which we're kind of doing now, to understand these new trends and technologies, how they can support the needs of our businesses now. So that's the reason we're going through these in such detail. So from a customer's viewpoint, communication and transparency. Customers do often struggle with poor communication and lack of transparency from IT service management teams. They need clear updates on instance and service requests, and they need them, or they need to get them when they want them. Service responsiveness, slow response times and lengthy resolution periods are common customer complaints. They expect quicker service delivery. We live in that world now of getting something as soon as we press a button. And unfortunately, we know this is not always the case, but we need to try to put methods in place in order to support the customer on this. User-friendly self-service, something that's easy to use. It doesn't take them through 1,001 questions. That's simple, intuitive. Personalization. You see, service management services may not always meet, and to be honest, rarely meet, the unique needs of individual customers. But however, personalization and customization are increasingly important, and it is something we do need to focus because it is one of the differentiators that our customers, or sorry, our businesses are trying to sell. And of course, service quality. Customers expect that constantly high service quality. Downtime, outages, and disruptions really do negatively impact their experience. And with the wants of social media now, they shout about it. and everyone knows. So, kind of, we've just gone over very high level the areas of the goals of IT, the business and service management, and also the different sorts of expectations, shall we say, and challenges, concerns of the three main sort of stakeholder personas, as you were. So what can we do about this? Well, we can just continue doing what we've always done, but then I can't see that really working because the business and IT require more flexibility than we generally offer. Or we can have a look at new tools and new trends that could support us here. So the trends that I'm going to talk about is the four biggest trends. AI. Well, you must be under a rock if we haven't heard about how AI and machine learning are changing the world. Well, they are, positively and negatively, and we need to be in a good position for those. Automation and orchestration, effectively making event management real. Value demonstration, again, elements that we've talked about all the time within ITIL and within service management, but how many of us actually do it? Demonstrate the value of something that's happened. Generally, we just put it on a business case, something that will happen, and then just forget about it. But we need to have a look at that value demonstration. And then how do we use DevOps and agile practices within our environment? And not just link with them, but actually use them to support service management. So first of all, artificial intelligence. So picture a world where your IT service management is not just efficient, but anticipates your needs and responds at lightning speed. Funny, and well, this world is not science fiction. It is the realm of artificial intelligence within IT service management. AI really has stepped into IT service management arena, revolutioning how we or how organizations deliver and manage their services. And you might think, well, how? How is this? But example one, virtual IT agent. One of the prominent applications today of AI in IT service management is the deployment of virtual IT service agents or chatbots. These AI-powered assistants can handle from routine service requests, troubleshoot common issues, and they can provide that instant support to end users. They operate 24/7, reduce response times, and free up human IT staff to focus more on complex tasks. So virtual IT service agents enhance the overall user experience by providing quick and accurate responses to inquiries. Now, who doesn't want that? AI-driven predictive analysis is transforming incident management within service management. Machine learning algorithms analyze historical incident data to identify patterns and trends. By doing so, AI can predict potential incidents before they occur. And this proactive approach allows IT teams to actually prevent the actions, minimizing downtimes and disruptions. I know you're thinking, but isn't that problem management? It is problem management, of course it is. But this is the tool in order to do problem management properly. You haven't got the people actually working so many man hours to try to identify certain elements. You've got almost that self-healing capability being created, which is kind of where we want to be. Another fantastic time-saving area, task automation. AI does play a significant role in automating routine and repetitive tasks across the service management spectrum. For example, it can automate software deployments, patch management, password resets, and other IT processes. By automating these tasks, AI not only reduces manual effort, but also minimizes the risk of human errors. This leads to, of course, improved efficiency, faster service delivery, and cost savings for organizations. So it really is a sort of a win-win. Great. So it can do all these things. So what are the true benefits for this? Well, let's have a look at the benefits. I'm sure I don't have to sell these to you because they really do speak for themselves. Automate routine tasks, can reduce workload, better operations insights, identify trends, predict issues, enable data decisions. And this is even before we've scratched the surface of machine learning. That whole element of having your own customized chat GPT, as it were, in the background of your service management. However, and there is a however, and let's be realistic here. However, adopting AI in service management is not without its challenges. Organizations must invest in the right AI technologies and infrastructure, which can be costly. There's a challenge of integrating AI into existing IT service management processes and tools, and ensuring it aligns with the organizational goals. Furthermore, I would say IT staff may require training to effectively use these tools. And addressing these challenges will be crucial in harnessing the full potential of AI in IT service management. So it's one great thing to say, hey, this is what AI can do for us and in service management. These are the benefits, but we've got to be realistic with the considerations. Have we got that investment? Have we got that time? Have we got that capacity to change? But doesn't have to be all at once, bite-sized chunks. Again, we'll mention that when we go into agility. Automation and orchestration. Oh, it's a fantastic area. So this is a powerful combination of technologies, and it is a powerful combination. It's revolutionary, revolutionizing the way IT services are managed and delivered and optimized. Automation streamlines repetitive tasks, whilst orchestration coordinates complex workflows seamlessly, which again results in increased efficiency, reduced errors, and enhanced service quality. So examples here could be instant management. So consider the realm of instant management, where an IT issue arises. Automation can be employed to automatically categorize and prioritize instance based on a set of predefined criteria. Orchestration steps in to coordinate the resolution process, automatically assigning tasks to the relevant support teams, escalating issues where necessary, and ensuring that incidents are addressed swiftly and systematically. This not only reduces resolution times, but also minimizes human errors in incident handling. Change management is another area where automation and orchestration play a pivotal role. Automation can facilitate the approval and scheduling of changes, ensuring that they align with established policies and don't disrupt the service availability. Orchestration then orchestrates the sequence of changes, ensuring that dependencies are managed and rollbacks are automated if issues arise. This approach not only accelerates change implementation, but also reduces the risk of disruptions. Good old self-service portals. Right. Imagine a self-service portal that empowers end users to request IT services and solutions independently. Automation can automate the approval process for the requests, ensuring they meet predefined criteria. Orchestration can then orchestrate the provisioning of the requested services, such as a user account setup, software installation, or access permissions. This results in a seamless and efficient self-service experience for users, reducing the burden on IT staff. Now again, the benefits of this, as we can see, minimal human intervention, fantastic. enhanced efficiency, streamlining tasks, coordination of multiple tasks, end-to-end workflows, seamless communication. Really, if we can design it and we can build a process around it, we can use automation and orchestration. So this is fantastic. And again, some of you might be thinking, hang on a minute, isn't this event management? Well, yeah, it is. Event management is the process you would use in order to govern this. However, it's the tools you would use in order to fulfill it. So considerations that we have to be made, or considerations that we need to think about here. While automation and orchestration offer numerous benefits, as we've seen, their adoption in service management is not without challenges. One of the challenges is integrating automation orchestration tools with existing systems and processes. This can be complex and require significant adjustments to the current infrastructure. Again, skills gap comes up. Implementing and managing automation and orchestration require IT teams to acquire new skills and experience because it's slightly different. They're going from a doer to a governor as such. Security is always a concern. As more processes are being automated, the potential for security vulnerability does increase because generally it's a case of automate and forget. And we're humans, and that's kind of what we do. And they're the areas that people then start to exploit. So we need to be aware of that and putting the right security policies and controls around it. A big one is employees resist the changes, introduce automation, orchestration. Like, oh my God, if we're going to do that, does that make my job redundant? No, it doesn't. Doesn't at all. What it does is gives you a chance to actually get on with your main job without doing all the background activities that stops you doing it. So automation is orchestration is a massive trend for really moving service management environments forward. Then we move nicely on to value demonstration. And in the world of IT service management, let's be honest, demonstrating value is some sort of buzzword. But really, it's not just a buzzword, is it? It's a crucial aspect of ensuring that IT services align with the broader goals of an organization. So value demonstration within service management is a practice of showcasing tangible benefits and outcomes that IT services provide to the business. It goes beyond merely delivering services. It's about providing that these services contribute to the success and growth of the organization. Again, there's loads of tools and products that can help us with this. Just look, for example, using COVID-5, you've got the goals cascade. That's all this value demonstration, making sure that every activity that we do actually shows direct value to the business. We've had all these tools for years. We haven't used them, but we need to start using them. So, service efficiency. For instance, consider a scenario where an IT department implements automation tools and processes that significantly reduce incident response times. Well, the value demonstration in this case will involve showcasing the reduction in downtime, faster issue resolution, and increased employee productivity. These metrics there demonstrate the tangible value that IT services bring by enhancing that operational capability or efficiency. Another example is when service management teams implement cost-saving measures. Let's say they optimize the use of cloud resources, leading to substantial reduction in infrastructure costs. Value demonstration would involve presenting financial data that reflects the cost savings achieved through these initiatives. This demonstrates again how IT services directly contribute to the organization's bottom line. Lastly, consider a scenario where IT service management focuses on improving the end user experience. By implementing self-service portals and knowledge bases, IT teams empower users to find solutions independently. Value demonstration here would involve measuring user satisfaction scores, reduced service desk call volumes, and quicker issue resolution. These metrics highlight how IT services enhance the customer or the overall customer experience. So, what value can this actually bring us? Well, as we can see, value demonstration offers several free or several key advantages. Firstly, it enables IT service management teams to align their goals with the broader strategic goals of an organization. By quantifying the value of IT services, organizations can clearly see how service management contributes to the achieving the business objectives. Additionally, it empowers service management to prioritize investments and resources effectively because everything now is visible, and it helps with decision making and such like with that. And by doing this, it does help create a common language, and it does help foster collaboration. But like everything else, there's a however. Oh, however, adopting value demonstration in service management is not without its challenges at all. One of the primary challenges is defining and measuring value accurately. Different stakeholders, as we well know, may have varying perspective of what constitutes value, and finding a universal accepted metric or set of metrics can be complex. Another challenge lies in collecting and analyzing the necessary data to demonstrate value. IT service management teams must ensure that they have a robust data collection sort of process in place to help track key performance and indicators and outcomes accurately. Again, this does cause another cultural shift. Now being a lot more accountable for what we're doing and making sure that we've got the right data at the right place at the right time. And for those amongst you that are wise with the good old ITIL, you might be thinking, hang on a minute, isn't this continual service improvement and the 7-step CSI model? Exactly. The CSI model is a process you could use to make sure that you're getting the right data, ensuring that you can collect that data, that you can analyze that data, you can present that data, and that data is fit for the customer. We've got these tools. We've had these tools for years, but we just haven't been using them. But now, 2024, with the way the business is going, it really is a much bigger focus to get these working in place. And whereas in service management, we had all the processes before, now we've got the technology to support us in a lot greater fashion. And finally, within this section here of trends, is the DevOps and Agile practices. Some of you might be thinking, brilliant, this is revolutionary, revolutionizing the way that we work in IT. And others of you are thinking, oh my God, what a headache. I hate working with these teams. It just, they push back on everything we do. And this does happen. So, but now let's have a look at further into this sort of element. So these methodologies really have become pivotal in reshaping how IT service management operates. And if we are resistant to DevOps and Agile practices, this could be our undoing within service management, because the business is requiring the outputs that these approaches do. So if we don't support these approaches, we effectively become part of the problem. So we really do need to start adapting to these areas. So how can we adapt, or how can we utilize these areas, we say? We've got The continual integration and continuous deployment, or CI/CD approach. This means that software changes are frequently and automatically tested, integrated, and deployed into production environments. The results: rapid and reliable software releases, reducing the risk of defects, and enhancing service delivery. Right, you're thinking that goes against our change policy. Well, this is where we have a look at change and we think about how standardized changes could work, because I doubt it will go against that policy. Imagine a scenario where an IT service management team can seamlessly introduce new features or updates into their service, offering minimal disruption thanks to CI/CD. It's not a pipe dream, it's there. We just need to align with the agile and DevOps practices. We need to work with, we need to support. In effect, they are our new customer now, and we need to support them because then they support the business. We want agile service delivery teams. Agile practices extend beyond software development and into service delivery teams with IT service management. By forming cross-functional agile teams, service management can respond more effectively to evolving business needs. And these teams collaborate, I'd say, closely with breaking down silos between development operations, which we've always known that they have been. We've got good old automation and infrastructure as a code. Well, we've talked about automation already, so we'll focus more on infrastructure as a code here, or IAC. And infrastructure as a code is a pivotal component of DevOps and agile practices within service management. Imagine a service management environment where infrastructure is easily managed and versioned as software as a code. This leads to faster provisioning, scaling, and recovery, ensuring that service management, or our services, remain highly available and responsive to business demands. And that's kind of where we want to be, right? So this kind of works. If we take a leaf out of DevOps and agile practices on how they manage their pipelines and their releases, this will support us, especially when it comes to within the transitional processes of change, release, and knowledge. Right, let's have a look. The benefits: break down silos, we mentioned, automated processes, quicker problem resolution, improved service quality, enhanced responsiveness, deliver faster value. And that's the key old thing, isn't it? Delivering faster value, and involves with the business. We saw on one of the initial pages or on the initial slides that the business wants agility, IT wants agility, service management wants stability. Well, we need to start honing that stability now to make sure it's more, it's got that flexibility sort of part that we're talking about here. However, again, there's always challenges. So IT service management processes may need to adapt to the rapid pace of agile development, which can be disruptive. So with this, we also need to make sure we've got the right culture, tools, and workflows in place. There's a whole load of different systems that are being used now. Thankfully, the newer sort of service management tools are embracing agile and DevOps, such ServiceNow. They've got massive modules to support this. And also, if you look at the other side of the coin, you've got the agile and DevOps community using tools like Jira. And Jira now got some very good sort of service management functionality within there. Again, there's nothing really that fits all areas, and it is something that we need to be aware of, and we need to make sure that we have alignment. Within service management, there is that cultural shift. Right, imagine getting your change manager to authorize 5,000 code commits per day. If there are any change managers on here, I'm sure you'll be shivering at the thought of it. But this is something we need to do. We need to have a look at why we're doing this. And as long as we've got those safeguards in place, for example, a change can happen as long as it passes a defined test, which is all we were going to check as a change manager anyway. And if we can automate that, then what's the problem of doing 5,000 a day? It's a different sort of cultural shift that we need to think about. And it may face resistance. In my experience, it will face resistance. And the resistance won't be coming from the Agile and DevOps teams. It'll be coming from our internal service management teams. So this really needs to be managed as an organizational change as much as possible. It can be disruptive, and it is disruptive, but as long as it is put in place correctly, this disruption should be reduced. And then when it is in place, it's a normal working order, there should be no disruption in there at all. The biggest thing is, as we got there, ensuring alignment. And this is, it's an old analogy that I remember about America and England, for example, America and Britain. It said shared cultural alignment, but different languages. Both speak English, but we speak different languages. And that's the same thing here. You both mean the same things, but you use different terminology for different elements. And this can smash alignment out. It really can. I've seen so many arguments where people are arguing exactly the same concept, but they're using a different word for it. So they're the sort of innovative approaches. There's nothing brand new there. There's nothing brand new. A lot of this stuff has been talked about for a number of years. However, what makes this different in 2024 is now we've got the capability and we've got the tools and the methods to make this actually happen in our organizations. That's the difference. So it might be something that's been talked about before, but now we've got the skills in order to, well, not the skills, we've got the capability in order to do this. Now quickly do a move on to the innovative approaches of service management. And here we'll just look at, and again, I've just picked 4 here because of the speed of the content, and we will go through these quite quickly. SIAM, if you haven't been doing SIAM in your organization and just think it's another word for supply management, it really needs to look into that because it really does support the integration of your services across different teams. The good old XLAs, and this is a massive one. Again, customer centric. We're not on about service level agreements now, we're on about customer experience level agreements. And I put their experience service level agreements, just so we can understand that we are talking about service, but in a different viewpoint from the customer's viewpoint, as it were. Shift left portals and agile service management. So let's have a start by looking at SIAM, or service integration and management. So SIAM is a holistic approach that focuses on managing multiple service providers, both internal and external, to deliver seamless end-to-end services to customers. In essence, SIAM acts as the orchestrator that ensures various service providers work together efficiently, like a conductor directing an orchestra. Loads of different models you can have here. You can have an external service integrator, an internal, or a mix of the two. You can outsource your integration to a supplier, but you can't outsource your company. So you have to think very hard about your retained capabilities. And it just issues like this that really get people quite stuck. So what can this provide to us? Improved service quality, enhanced customer experiences, increased agility, reduced downtime, services delivered consistently, and a more flexible and responsive approach. Remember, we outsource activities. We don't outsource the problem, and that's the key thing here. And it's very easy to think, right, this process isn't working for me. I'm going to outsource that. But then your outsource partner is only going to run that process as you have written that process for them to run. So if the process is broken, they're just going to run it broken. We have to remember that kind of thing when we're looking at service integration and management, that sometimes it's worth sorting out everything in-house first, and then we work out what we need. And what the key tip here is what we can control, we will then outsource that, because then we can have our suppliers on the hook, as it were. So working within a service integration and management sort of arena, it has got its challenges and its considerations here. So a cultural shift again is required, and this might be that you're not working within a process, but you're working on governing a process, for example, because your outsourcers might be working with this. Comprehensive change management. So if you put a change in, this might go through 3 or 4 different companies. It's not as simple as just looking at the change in our environment. It's also contractual changes, and it does open it up a lot more. Supplier complexity. Each different supplier will have their own ways of doing things. This needs to be aligned, otherwise it just won't work. Or if it is not aligned, you need to put something in place that will give you that consistent value that you require. And this is all part of creating that SIAM framework. Again, creating robust governance structures. When you work with lots of different people, lots of different things can happen. XLAs. So XLAs represent a significant shift on how IT service management approaches, like service quality and service quality user satisfaction. Unlike traditional SLAs, service level agreements that focus solely on technical metrics and response times, XLAs prioritize the overall experience and satisfaction of the end users. So XLAs recognize that it's not just about meeting technical targets, but ensuring that IT services genuinely enhance the user experience. This approach goes well beyond the conventional ITSM model and takes a user-centric perspective. And if you remember, that was one of the things we discussed at the beginning, building user-centric models. So what are the benefits? By having XLAs, enhanced user satisfaction, business goal alignment, proactive issue resolution, and that element of continued improvement. It does support the business. It supports the delivery. It supports the user. It makes the user happy. It makes the user want to buy more. It's one of these elements. However, there are some big considerations we have to make here. It is a mind shift. It's not just about, oh, well, they must be happy with 98% availability, and that's what they wanted. But if 98% availability doesn't enable them to fulfill their task, it doesn't really matter to the end user. So we have to look at it differently to how we measure this, and that goes into data and measurement. How it's not just, it can be quite subjective sometimes. It's not objective that we've fixed an incident within a certain threshold, which is a good old SLA, but it's the customer feedback on that. It is slightly different. And of course, other considerations here, we have to spend more sort of resources spent actually analyzing this data and getting it ready. Or we can start using automation orchestration, as mentioned previously. Doesn't mean more manpower, this means a different way of doing things. And of course, balancing the technical metrics. We're not saying SLAs are dead, God save XLAs. We're saying they both need to be, there's a place for them both, and they both need to be working in harmony. So Experience level agreements, a big new thing that's coming on. There are tools that help you manage this, and there's a wealth of information for this, and it's the next big thing. Well, it's not the next big thing, it's already here. We just need to start using it more. There's shift left and shift left. Again, these have now become buzzwords, haven't they? More buzzwords. But these approaches really do represent a paradigm shift on how IT service management is carried out. So shift left is about moving certain tasks and responsibilities closer to the beginning of the IT service management process, while shift left takes the whole concept even further. So shift left, what can that really give us? This approach involves, pushing tasks like, for example, instant resolution support closer to the end users or frontline IT staff. By doing so, it provides several benefits. It can significantly reduce resolution times as they're addressed more quickly. The approach also encourages self-service and it empowers end users to troubleshoot and resolve their own problems on their own, reducing workload on IT support teams. For shift left, this takes it a step further. This approach goes beyond shift left by involving end users not only in issue resolution, but also in service design and proactive problem solving. In shift left, end users become active participants in shaping IT services and solutions. And this approach can lead to even faster issue resolution and increased user satisfaction, because this is that true co-creation of IT services that align so closely with the business needs. And for any of you who've done any ITIL 4, there's that key word they talk about, co-creation. So there are many challenges that we could have when we're looking at shift left. I'm sure that these are all quite straightforward. So user knowledge, we need to, is the user ready to do shift left or shift left? There will be a shift in sort of accountabilities and responsibilities within the IT roles, and that might change a lot of the culture of how businesses or an IT environment is currently run. How we obtain that user feedback to make sure that we're doing the right thing, and that is then integrated in our models. And of course, looking again at our end user skills, getting end users up to the level where they can either use shift left or shift left, and not just their skills, but their actual attitude, whether they want to do it. So loads of things that we need to have a look at there. And that is more of an embedding sort of issue, a design and embedding issue, than anything else. Our final sort of element that we're going to look at here is agile IT service management. And so agile IT service management, there's been a number of courses on it, and it was coined by I can't remember the name of the company in America, who was selling courses to start off with, and what they did is they tried to blend the two, and then actually really stumbled on something good. So what it does is it combines the principles of agile methodology with traditional service management practices. It represents a shift from traditional linear processes to a more flexible, collaborative, and iterative approach. So it is that whole element where we don't have to go to the end of a process for it to give value. This really helps us build our value streams, such like agile can agile service management can provide several benefits to IT service management. It emphasizes customer centricity, which we're happy with, faster service delivery, and improved collaboration amongst teams. With this approach, IT departments can become more responsive to changing business needs. And this approach also allows for incremental improvements and the ability to adapt to evolving technologies and customer experiences. But like anything, there's challenges. Service management departments may face resistance to change from the traditional processes and mindsets. Definitely, um, definitely see this being a big issue within organisations. The shift to agile requires that cultural change, breaking down silos and embracing a more iterative approach, which can be met with resistance from staff accustomed to their linear processes. Again, this is another transition issue that we need to look into. If you're going to move agile in, it's not a case of just dropping agile practices in. It's understanding how we can transition to a more of an agile way of working, and also how we can get the benefits from that. That was me speaking at 1,000 miles an hour in order for us to get a lot of content in this hour. So a quick little wrap up on where we are or what we've done. So key takeaways here. Evolving IT service management landscape and the challenges organizations face. That's what we've discussed. We've discussed the key trends shaping IT service management 2024, AI, automation, DevOps, embrace agile ITSM, looking at how CI and CD agile teams infrastructures of code, recognize the benefits of the agility in service management, the importance of embracing change and considering how to adopt IT service management. Whew, all in an hour. You're still with me? Fantastic. Thank you. We're almost there. But no, there's so much content. I could talk weeks on each one of these topics into depth and how to blend this into your environments, but we unfortunately haven't got that time. So the only real sales slide you're going to get today is what can we do for you? Well, we can help you. If there's anything here that has been of interest to you and you'd like myself or one of the team to discuss this with you more, please let us know. We'll be more than happy. This isn't a one size fits all. This is all based on the individual customers, their experiences and their goals. But yeah, please be in touch, and we'll be more than happy to help. With that, Paul and also maybe another member of the team may be in contact soon to see if there's anything that caught your eye, and anything you'd like to discuss in more detail. We honestly would love to help. If you want to contact us though directly, please feel free, and we'll be more than happy to help.